All right, everybody, let's run it back. Now it's time for the 71 through 80. So thank you guys for tuning in. And you know, one of the comments somebody said last time, it seemed like there were a lot of Halloween games. And I realized that. I don't know why that many fell in that area. So this one is a bit more diverse. Might be like a Halloween themed game in there. I do like the horror themed stuff. But here we go. Let's get ready. These are my 71 to 80 games of all time. Okay, so my number 80 is a party game, and this party game is funny how I go through phases where I play it a lot, then I don't, then it comes back out, then I'm like, should I sell it, should I not? It's one you probably mostly played. It is Sheriff of Nottingham. And it's one of those, it is a lying game. For you that don't know, it's a lying / bluffing game. And this is really fun because you can teach new players very easily, but also there's that reading people type thing. Like if you are lying and you put everything into the bag and you say, you know what, I've got 3 chickens right here. Here's an extra coin if you don't look in there. And then they might be like, well, initially you're like, well, if you give me a coin, obviously it's not real. You're not telling the truth, but maybe you're doing that just so I'll inspect it. And that back and forth is really what makes this game fun. And it's one of those games that is just as fun to kind of play the smuggler and play the sheriff. Both of those are really enjoyable. And pushing that contraband through, it's a fun game. It's very light. It's very easy. It's almost considered a party style game. But I do love it. The new edition, the artwork is great on that too. I like both of them. So that is Sheriff of Nottingham. Okay, so my number 79 game of all time is actually, it's a smaller box game. It's really small. And this one we actually do travel a lot. It's sitting in our game room. It's one of those end of the night kind of filler games that I like. I hate the word filler, but more of a closing game or a starting game. It is Loot and Run. It is a push your luck style game where you are looting and running. Who would have thought that? But pretty much you're looting a temple, and there are these cards. The artwork in there is great. And you're going to flip cards. You're going to push your luck by flipping cards and putting them in front of you. And they're face down so you can look. And the whole idea of it is you have to have more amulets than you have monsters. Because every card has treasure on it. So you can keep the treasure. But if someone awakens you and points to you and you have to flip and you have more monsters than amulets, then you don't get any of this, and they also get a benefit as well. But if you have more amulets and monsters, you're safe. So it's pretty fun. You flip over and you're like, I've got 2 amulets, only 1 monster. I can keep going. And you turn it, well, now I have 2 and 2. What are the odds the next one? So you keep going back and forth, and you look around and try to read the room. So it's really fun. It plays really quick. The scoring track is like on the back of the box, so you flip it out, and you're playing within a couple minutes, and you put it back up. It's a great end of the night, push your luck style game. So that is Loot and Run. Okay, so my next one, oddly enough, is another archaeology type game, which is crazy, but they're back to back. But this is a bit of an older game, and again, it's kind of a push your luck style game as well. And this is The Adventurers, the Pyramid of Horus. You're looting a temple, you're going in there, you're an archaeologist or whatever, and you're going in and you're grabbing treasure. But the rub on this one is that the pyramid is collapsing and pieces are falling. So as you're looking, you are pulling these pieces out of the bag and they start to drop and they go in different squares. It says on the bottom what square they're going to fall in. So one by one, these could fall on you. But just as bad is they are blocking the ways to get out. So as more and more of them fall, the harder and harder it is for you to get out. So you might be looking and one by one your paths of escaping start to vanish and you've got one path of escaping and you're like, I gotta go, but I want to grab one more thing. So you push your luck and you stay. It has kind of the feel of ink and gold or diamant, except it has a bit more of an epic feel because you want to push that envelope and stay as long as you can. It's a lot of fun. And that is The Adventurers, the Pyramid of Horus. Okay, so my number 77 game of all time is app-based, and it is based on, well, it's very similar to Mansions of Madness, but more of a fantasy theme, a theme that I really love, and that is Journeys in Middle-earth, The Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth. I do like this game a lot. Initially, I wasn't as enamored with it only because I was so involved in the story, but the way the game is designed is it keeps pushing you forward. You're not really paid off to explore and things, it's just to finish the game, and I wanted to more explore this world. Well, since then they've released updates and things where you have more of a chance, other modes that you can kind of explore the world, because it's really, really fun. The minis are great, and the app is fantastic. This is one that we use a tablet or whatever, and then we cast it to the TV so everybody can see what's going on. You can really immerse yourself into the story. And there are expansions with this as well. And I also love Mansions of Madness. I love both of them. But this theme, I think, resonates with a lot of people, a lot of my friends and things like that. They really enjoy this theme. And to be able to actually be a character in this world is fascinating. It's a lot of fun. It's really well done. And that is Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth. Okay, so my 76th game of all time is one of those that is kind of a guilty pleasure because I know the game has a lot of broken aspects to it. Not broken so much as unbalanced. And in any of these games that you have so many different things you can put together and mesh, sometimes you're going to get it unmatched. But this is Maximum Apocalypse. But in particular, Wasted Wilds. And this right here easily replaces, I've got everything from Maximum Apocalypse from the beginning to all the way to the Legendary Encounters or Legendary expansion. But everything in there, and the whole thing is this, you are at an apocalypse. Sounds like fun, right? And then you get to choose whichever apocalypse, the way the world ends. You could have kaiju, you could have aliens, you could have angels, you could have zombies, you could have whatever you want. That you pick that, then you pick your survivors, then you lay out a map, and as you explore, you're flipping tiles, you're going different places, you're scavenging, you're getting weapons, all while you're getting hungry and you need to make food, and it's a really fun game. Initially, and up until like really recently, like months ago, this game suffered from one problem. The game is fun, it has its problem, and you can overlook it, except the fact that the setup is so long and tedious. You have to put together all these tiles, all these cards, and you have to slowly figure that out and then lay it out. It could take you 30 to 40 minutes to actually get to playing the game. Well, the new one, Maximum Apocalypse Wasted Wilds, fixes all that because you use the tiles it comes with and you use the scavenge cards and everything is ready to go. You pick a mission and you go at it. And I really, really like that because then it hits a table because I can forgive a lot of those small problems in a game if it hits a table quickly, and then it's quick to go ahead and run again. I don't mind that because it's a quick game. For the longer games, you've got to even that out. But this does hit the table quickly, and it's a lot of fun. You know, so really, and it's also nice because people that haven't played it, this is a great starting off point because this is actually the point I'm starting with, and then just going to incorporate all the stuff I have from the past that fits into it. But this is it. This is the box that I play with, although I have everything else. This fixes a lot of those problems. And it's a lot of fun. You get to pick your apocalypse. How great is that? I mean, I would probably pick ice cream trucks. Just a bunch of ice cream trucks coming. That's the apocalypse I'd pick. I don't know. I don't want one. All right, but that is it. Maximum Apocalypse. Okay, so my 75 game of all time is... It is a musical game. Not really. It's a roll and write. It is On Tour. And On Tour, pretty much the whole idea of this is you are trying to take your band on a tour around the country. But you're not able just to draw where you want to go. You have to roll dice. And you've got to put the numbers on the map in certain areas that also roll. And then you have got to map out an ascending or descending order that goes all the way around the country. And you only pick up the cities and the states that are in those numbers. And it's a lot of fun. And because so many people can't play this at the same time, you're all playing with the same information. It's funny how it starts similar, and then towards the end, you just have this huge pivot. You're like, whoa, how did you get down to Florida, then back up here to New York, and also at Washington? It's really interesting to start putting that together. And then I like the crunchy decisions towards the end whenever you have got a number that you don't really think you're going to use, you'll be able to, and you need to stick it out of the path. You have to put it somewhere that you wanted to go to that place, but apparently you're not going to, or you've made two groups of numbers here and here that are ready to meet, but how are you going to get together there in the center to make that tour go all the way through? It's a lot of fun. It's what I think a roll and write should be. It's probably in the medium side as far as weight, but probably light to medium, but it's a lot of fun. You can get a good group of people, have fun, and then just look at the maps afterwards. So that is On Tour. Okay, so my 74 is a hidden role kind of social deduction style game, but it is The Thing, the board game. And there's a couple of the things out there, but this is the newer one. This one I really enjoy because social deduction, these type of games, hidden role, are kind of hit or miss for me. But this one really is fun because you can have someone that you really trust. They've done something to really establish that trust. And all they have to do is be stuck in a room with someone else for a moment and do that token switch and look and then come back out. And now all of a sudden you're suspicious again. And that's really very thematic with the movie, right? Because you were just friends. They come out, nothing has changed in their personality at all. Then you're like, wait, what just happened in there? And they're like, we're good, we're good. We're like, wait, hold on. So it's really fun. We played this with a group, and there's a girl there she's done everything right. We had her be the leader, and up until the very end, you had to roll a weather die. And if it's a bad roll, you can re-roll it. That's your ability. So she rolls it. It's a bad roll that would have killed us all. So we're like, all right, she's going to re-roll it. And then she just put it out there. And for a moment we thought, why would she kill it? It's you the whole time. And it's that moment is really good because board games, they come down to moments like that. That's really like, what? It really feels good. It feels thematic. If you like the IP, it's a little heavier. The one that came out before this is a bit lighter. I do like both of them, by the way. But this one probably edges ahead because it's a bit more gamery. Not sure if that's really a word, but yeah, I do really like this one. So this is The Thing, the board game. Okay, so 73, I might be in the minority in liking this more than its predecessor, but 73 is Seven Wonders Architects. Seven Wonders was a game that I was fine with. I didn't love it. It was fine. I played it a couple times. I enjoyed it. It was great. It was fine. But Seven Wonders Architects, I enjoy more. It hits a table quicker. It hits a table more often. And that's a big thing for me because it can hit the table quickly. I mean, you've got all those different asymmetric wonders that you're building, and everything does something different. This one might be really good at battle. This one focuses just on victory points. This one gets you to draw cards. And all these things are going around the table, all while you're working with those decks of cards next to you. And as you go, you're also watching who takes which cards and starting to build your wonder and balancing out your battles. It's fun, and it's not so rules heavy. You can get it to the table fairly quickly. But I do enjoy this. I like normal Seven Wonders, so I'll play that some as well. We have that. And I like Duel, but this one for some reason hits the table a lot because it's so easy to get out. And I love, like I said, little cases. All the inserts on it are great. So it looks good on the table, but that is Seven Wonders Architects. Okay, so my number 72 is one that I never played. I played the original a couple times, or the game that it's based on, but then I was never really needed to buy it until they came out with the Marvel edition, and I'm like, I'm listening, tell me more of this Marvel. And this is Marvel Dice Thrones. Marvel Dice Thrones, it's pretty much Battle Yahtzee. For you that haven't played Dice Throne and Marvel Dice Thrones, you're just going at each other. It can play 3 or 4, but I think it's better as a 2-player game. And I really like the asymmetry in all the different characters. I think here on the channel, I played with Roy recently in a live play. And we were Doctor Strange and I think Wanda. And I've played other ones, but not those before. And it's very interesting on how different the strategy has to be for each of those characters. And what I like about this, if you focus on one box, you can really learn these characters, their swings back and forth. And it's really fun. Obviously, when it comes down to die rolls, games like this, they're swingy. They just are. But you do have some mitigation in that because you could either go for the kill, the one that's going to be very hard to get, but it's very powerful if you land it, or you can go for the jabs. So you can jab and slowly wear them down after rounds, or you can go for the knockout punch. That's really fun to do. And Marvel Dice Throne, I think it really hits. It looks good. Obviously, the artwork is fantastic. But I think, again, this works best for me as a 2-player game. So that is Marvel Dice Thrones. Okay, so now we're down to number 71. Look at this. I've done all of this and no real Halloween games on the list. Wait a minute. We spoke too soon. This is a Halloween style game. This one is all about the spook juice. It's fun to say. Spook juice. This is Monsters on Board. Monsters on Board is a very adorable monster game. The artwork on here is great. The components, I think Chris likes to say, this game is overproduced. And I'm like, yes. Yes, it is. Isn't it glorious? It is overproduced because it is beautiful. The minis are great. The artwork is fantastic. It is a dice drafting game. And again, there's something about when you unpack it, you see not only the minis, but you see that brick of dice that come out and you're like, oh, this is going to be good. And you roll the dice, you put them in your little car, you take a die you want, keep passing them, and it is a drafting game with dice. And then you start to move around, and it's all about getting the most spook juice. So you're going to have different tracks that you go through, and you're going to get different rewards and things. There's a lot of icons on this, and the icons do take a little bit of time to figure out what they are, but there are things on BGG that you can get to figure that out. But it's really fun. It just makes me happy. It's like a good looking game on the table too, and dice drafting. I love dice drafting. I love Halloween. I love monsters. I love games. How could you not love Monsters on Board? Exactly. Okay, so that is it. That is my 71 through 80 this week. So make sure you tune in and watch everyone else on the channel because everyone else's videos drop this week. And this is all going to culminate to top 10 at the end, where we're going to be able to do our top 10s with everybody else here in the studio. It'd be a lot of fun. And please comment below. I love reading your guys' comments on any of these games you've played or games that are similar that you like. I love to hear that kind of stuff. And also, if you ever do Dice Tower conventions, I would love to play these with you. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joey Evans. Bye.